Guys, good night to everyone. Welcome to another Sports Frenzzyy live show. I'm your host, Levan. With me tonight, I have Ryan Lawson, Jason Curlew, and the man that says he knows more track and field than any other sport, Chris Lynch. Good night, gentlemen. How are you doing?
Open up. There.
And to our viewers, sorry for the late start, man. Some technical difficulties caused that, but we're here now and we're here to talk about your favorite sports. And first up, we're going to start with some cricket. No, from the other night, I've been beating the West Indies based on how they started the reply to Sri Lanka the other day. I said that they were negative from the get-go in terms of how they approached the reply. And guess what? They didn't put up enough score on the board and they allowed Sri Lanka to get away in the second turn at bat, where Sri Lanka piled on the runs. Sri Lanka actually made what? 476 in the second innings, with Nisanka, the debutant, getting 100, Oshada Fernando getting 91, and Nirshan Dikwela getting 96. Also, Dhananjaya De Silva got 50. One key thing to point out as well, Shannon Gabriel went the entire match without getting a wicket. Don't know why this man is in the team. He's unfit easily. And leads me to one thing, and Ryan disagreed with me the other night, but it's hard to get away from it. Boss, West Indies are too negative in their batting. And before we came on here, you were pointing out that some people are saying that Craig Brathwaite has been getting some half volleys that he should be crashing to the boundary, and he's there blocking. I personally think that, you know what? You see, if you're going to get like what? They need what? 300 plus to win?
Yeah.
Boss man, don't start you have an entire day. Don't start the day with one thing in mind, to draw the test match. You have you had over like 100 overs to win this game, which simply requires over 3 runs per over. In any game, that is quite gettable. Start off the game with a mind frame of trying to win the game itself. Don't try to draw the game from the get-go. If you see in a position now where things aren't going away, then yes, you can try to draw the game from there. But just like the first innings, I think they started off the second innings negative. What's your take?
All right. The first innings, I had no problem with the way we started in terms of we had like 10 to 15 overs, I think it was, to bat through for the following day, where we would bat, where our mindset should have been to bat for 2 days. Today now is a different scenario. We had 20 to 24 overs to bat. So, and we have a target to get. So the mindset should have been different in the sense that we should be trying to reduce the target as low as possible to go into tomorrow, where we have like 280 or so to chase. The 34 that we made should have been double that. So we should have put up like 68 to 70, and then we have 270 to 280 to get tomorrow at a run rate of about 3 or less. Not doing that now, we put more pressure on ourselves to get the runs, and if the mindset should not be to draw the game. Let me put it that way from the get-go. It should be to win. And now we put ourselves in a position where we might have to score 3.2 to 3.4 to get a win, and then we might end up batting to try and save the game with maybe 5, 6, 7 wickets down, which is not an ideal situation. So I think the approach for those 20 odd overs was wrong. We should have gone out there and say, okay, we're going to put up at least 70 and go into tomorrow trying to get the 280 odd runs or 270 odd runs. So it was 2 separate scenarios, the first innings and second innings, in my view.
All right, Chris. First up, we had said that when West Indies is playing, they actually play with 10 men when it comes on time to bat, because you're one of John Campbell's biggest fan. No, what's the defense of John Campbell today about the ball that he got got out with?
I am not one of his biggest fan, but the first innings, it was a good ball. it wasn't him playing a careless shot that got him out, Then he could have beat him. Today, how he got out, it is a good ball, but it's not. It's a ball that him could have took his bat shouldn't be there. Like him know him look up in the sky. It's like him I say, oh, him not playing a shot. Him bat just there where the ball is. Him not playing a shot, It's the worst way to get out because you're not playing a shot. Your bat is there. So I can't find no excuse for him getting out today. It was poor batting on his part.
All right. My question to you, though, do you actually think that they're going to go after winning this game, or you think they're going to actually try to draw this game?
They can't be in a mindset. They cannot win this game. They cannot win it.
Let me say something. It depends on how long Bonner and Brathwaite bats, because those two won't go after the score. But the quicker we get in the attacking players like the Myers and
Blackwood
and Holder, the chase will be on. So it depends on how long the two that are the crease bat. And as for John Campbell, anything more than a 0 is a bonus to me. So,
but I think we cannot win the game, and all the batsmen need to do is just bat for their runs. Just bat for their runs. We cannot win the game. Anybody think that we're going to win this game?
I thought the same about the first test in Bangladesh, and we won it. So I mean, there is enough overs to win the game. We have 94 overs to get what? 300.
This is a bigger chase.
341.
341
and 94 overs. So we have like 3.5 for that hard. Yeah.
in today's game, man, that isn't necessarily hard, man. But then again, we're talking about West Indies, so you know that go already.
But then again, if you look at the trend over the last year or two, you realize that a lot of teams have been chasing big totals in the fourth innings to win games. We chased almost 400 in Bangladesh. India chased down 330 against Australia recently. Yeah. So there have been some recent history of big chases. So I don't know what caused that. I don't know if it's because of the advent of T20 and batsmen are more aggressive, or is it that the pitches are not so bad on the fifth day? But hey, there is some recent history to substantiate that big chases can be.
It would be a tough. They're not going to chase the runs. I don't think Brathwaite going out there thinking he can chase these runs. I don't think none of the batsmen. I know Bonner personally batting for his game. Brathwaite trying to bat and make sure he make runs, so nobody can say the captaincy got a hold of him. He needs to make runs. So I
can't tell this much though. Two man. I know for a fact that if they come out, if they get a chance in the middle, they will try to go after the score. It's one Kyle Myers and Jeremy Blackwood. Those two are going to play attacking, and those two men will die attacking.
A holder is going to.
And also, let's not forget, Josh Da Silva, also Rakeem Cornwall. And
no, Josh is not really an attacking. Josh is not so much an attacking player.
No, man, he's crafty, man, but his strike rate is pretty decent.
47, 48, they're about him to strike that hard.
No, man, sometimes, man, it depends on the situation that you're looking at it from. But, all right, if you want to put Josh Da Silva aside,
Josh is not the guy you build a partnership around. Josh is not the guy who goes out and attack.
So let's look at it then. Rakeem Cornwall and Alzarri Joseph. Yes, Alzarri to make a quick 80 tomorrow again.
There's only two results, to be honest. West Indies lose or the match draw. So Sri Lanka either win or the match draw. West Indies cannot win. So stop thinking about winning.
All right, boss.
I said the same thing against about Bangladesh in the first test. Matter of fact, both tests.
Well, let's see how this one pan out.
Let's see, yeah.
But we now move over to Chris' favorite sport. There was a lot of, when I say a lot, I mean like a lot of March Madness in the collegiate basketball. And let me point out quickly that first up, we had Oral Roberts gone on a giant killing spree. They beat Ohio State, they beat Florida, and they guess what? They become just the second 15 seed to reach the Sweet 16, and they were also Oregon State, Syracuse, and UCLA also get into the Sweet 16. Chris, you're the man that follows up this a lot. What do you make of this giant killing?
Yeah, it's a very impressive run from the college. Most people don't even know. Most people don't even know the college. And I think it's just basically motivation, knowing that that's how basketball is. It don't matter what seed you come in, because sometimes you're seeded because you're seeded wrong. It's because most times in basketball, how they seed is basically most teams get the highlight. Some teams like that team, Oral Roberts, don't get the highlight. So they're not coming in with a big seed. And they don't respect their opponents. So if they don't respect your opponents, they're not really putting you up in the big seedings and seeding you. So I think a lot of people take them lightly, and they got Florida State. Most people, that was the biggest shocker, because it wasn't just a win. They had them all night like they wanted to win, and they have an easier matchup. They have an easier matchup in the Sweet 16. That's where the competition is at now, and I think it's going to be very interesting, because it's two teams that most people don't have on their watch.
So my question to you, though, you actually think that they can go all the way? Because I've been watching quite a few sporting shows overseas, and they have them as going as far as winning the tournament. Do you think that they can do it?
No, I think I like the number one ranked team. I don't have them going far. I don't have them probably going. They're gonna probably go to the Elite Eight, which is after this, if they win this one. The team that they're playing is Arkansas Razorbacks. They're playing good too, but I don't expect them to go. If we can go to the Super 8, but I don't expect them to go to the 4.
All right, but who else has surprised you, and who should our viewers look forward to?
They are one of the team, obviously, but the outright favorite is the number one rank. Ganza, what them called? Gangaza University. Yeah, they are the overall favorites, number one rank. They have two good players playing consistently.
The man that a lot of people think is actually older than 21 years old.
Yeah.
But we say you think they can actually go.
Yeah, they're playing good. They're playing good basketball. They're playing team basketball.
Yeah, they look quite good. And the other night he had a stellar night, because what? I think he had like 30 odd points the last game they played.
Yeah, he had a solid game, a very solid game.
So you're saying that you expect them to go all the way and clinch this title?
Yeah, expect them and Villanova. I like Villanova as well.
I was just about to ask you that if there was someone to actually upset them, who would it be?
I like Villanova as an upsetter, because they're fifth. Villanova is fifth. They're ranked number 5.
All right, boss. But I'm going to go out on edge. I'm going to say this is Oral Roberts here. it's their year to win, man.
Yeah, it's a nice team. They're playing team basketball. Anybody like basketball, they can go and watch that team. They're playing good basketball.
All right, so that's a wrap on the collegiate system basketball, and Chris Lynch delves into the issue a bit for those who don't know about it. Hopefully, you guys learned a bit about it.
Yeah, March Madness is just about March Madness is about collegiate basketball, if people didn't know that.
Yeah, man, I'm just so upset and learn, man, because we're here to teach, we're not just here to just talk about it just like that. We're here to teach them about sports and certain things that they don't know about. So hope you guys learned a bit about that, and we'll not touch on to another sporting discipline that a lot of people have been beckoning for the longest while, and we haven't touched on it yet. We're not going to jump. Well, yes, we're going to jump, yes, but we'll also do some tracking, and Right onto the field. We'll go right onto the tracks. Talk about some track and field. Well, it is being said that there's a possibility that there will be no champs this year because a lot of the meets going around has actually been cancelled, like Eastern champs, and I don't remember which other one currently, but I think it's Western. They have been cancelled, so there's a possibility that all those meets will be cancelled. So possibility exists there will be no champs this year. But
once those are cancelled, then there is no champs.
Technically,
those are the precursor to having a champs.
So listen,
2 weeks ago, someone was telling me that champs is going to keep, and I told them I have to see it before I believe. I had no
exactly.
No, I mean 2 weeks ago, it was a possibility, given that we didn't have these stringent measures in place. But based on where we are now, remember we're having the government approved for the events to be had, but now based on where we are and these events are being cancelled, the precursors to champ, then you can expect that there will be no champs, because normally you would have the Western and the Eastern and those things before you have champs, and those are being cancelled, so you can expect that you more than likely will have any champs.
All right, but we saw Kingston College and quite a few other high schools taking part in a meet over the weekend where Kingston College actually retained their crown. JC gave them a challenge. I'm sure that Jason was somewhat in tune to it, so he actually saw some of the events. But the person that I was impressed by was that jumper from Calabar, Jordan Turner. He jumped a record and he dedicated it to the slain trainer that passed off. But he was impressive. And with this being cancelled, I'm not looking at it from a standpoint where I think he should actually go into the national championship if there will be one to try and make it to the Olympics team. Because me personally, I look at sports in general that you see, once you're good enough, you're whole enough. And if you can trade for the national team, then why not?
Agreed.
Jason, what do you make of it?
I wholesomely agree. The standards are there in each discipline for a reason in track and field. So I believe that if you're good enough to actually qualify for that specific race or that specific event, then regardless of your age, you should be good enough to matriculate into that. You see a lot of examples all over the world, in particular without track and field too, how some youngsters have come in and they have actually, when they used to hype up Trayvon Brummel, when he made his debut in 2015, and everybody was talking about how young he is and everything. People looking at Kemba Nelson now, comparing her to athletes way superior to her in terms of age and what they have achieved, and she hasn't reached anywhere yet. So I wholesomely agree, but again, my sentiments are with the rest of the panel that if these meets are being cancelled, they don't see champs being held, which is a big disappointment, of course. But I mean, what can we do?
Yeah, you have to put people health first, Yes, we want to see the athletes and all of that, but at the end of the day, that health comes first. Don't want them to go out there and actually contract this this disease.
The one great thing that these meets do for athletes is the ones that are looking to get scholarship abroad. Now they have something on record again. I am really happy for that. Like, they have something on record again, like something they can show scouts. So I was happy that they got some meets in and they get stuff on record to send overseas when they're looking.
Yeah, and I'm happy that you touched on that, Chris, because you're a man that actually followed the college system in US, right? And over the past few weeks, we have seen some impressive performances from some Jamaicans. More notably, Kemba Nelson in the 60 meters, right? She ran 7.05, and that was the 35th fastest time ever and 5th best by a Jamaican woman, trailing only Merlin at a 6.96, Shelley and Fraser and Elaine Thompson both with 6.98, and Veronica with 7 seconds. Let's also point out that Kimber Nelson is also one of the lesser known athletes throughout champs. She normally attend Mount Alvernia before she went on to UTEC for a bit until she transferred over to the college in US. What you made of her performance overall? Because she has been one of the most consistent athletes throughout this year. So I want to know what you make of her.
Remind me of Elaine Thompson. A lot of people a lot of people didn't know of Elaine Thompson, even though she had made champs final, but a lot of people didn't know of her. And somewhat she does remind me of her. She's consistent in college. Elaine Thompson was just like that. She was consistent in Jamaica, and I think with she flying under the radar, it helps her. Like but now her name is coming up, so she has to be more ready now because athletes know about her and everyone is looking forward to her. I hope she can hold her nerve, but she's definitely one for the future. And or 4x1 team or 100-meter team going to any championship.
Let's also point out that she beat Tanisha Terry, in which a lot of people might know her because she has been one of the best US talent that is coming through, and she actually beat Tanisha Terry in that event. And it leads me into another thing now. I'm going to put it to Ryan. While we're probably struggling on the men's side, because first and foremost, let me point this out for all the Blake fans out there. Blake, come go sit down, brother. Your time
Agreed.
Time up. You don't have no Olympics. I make some of know you talk about if Olympics should
give me back
you never have make it in the first place. So I don't know what you talk about. Blake, go sit down. Go sit down.
And even if you make it, and even if you make the Olympic, you're not making the final. So
come.
No.
Brian. Brian. You say if the man, I say if he make it, the man never make it. Me say that point blank clear.
But the guy in the run now one meet where they come about fourth or something like that, so.
Yeah, you came fourth.
I can't tell when last that man win a race. I can't tell when last that man will keep on come third, fourth. Well, that's where it belongs really, because his time is up. And I say this to say, I say that to say this. Blake will not make top 3 for Jamaica. Even though we're struggling on the men's side, he will not make top 3. But leave me back to another thing. Even though we're struggling on the men's side, when we look at the female side, we have quite a few talents coming through now because, as I mentioned, Kimber Nelson, she's 21. Well, no, she's 22. We also have Kiara Grant, who has somewhat flown under the radar, in which she came third behind Kimber Nelson and Tanisha Terry. We also have Brianna Williams, super talent, Kevona Davis, and also this athlete that injuries has kind of plagued her somewhat because I was watching her development. She was one of those late bloomers. She normally attend Idol. Her name is Ashanti Moore. I was looking at her and I was saying that this is another one that could actually transform into a very good athlete. But injuries has somewhat plagued her, as I mentioned. But the disparity between the men and the women, doesn't that bother you a lot?
For a time, and even Usain Bolt a year or two ago came out and said that the men, they don't have it's like they don't have the drive or something because he mentioned that he was trying to talk to them and it's like they're not going to talk from him. So if they're not going to talk from Blake, Bolt rather, who is it that they're going to listen to? And it seems as if the women are more driven because they have a deeper pool and they are actually performing. The ones that are there now, the Elaine and the Shelley and so forth, they are performing. And the ones that are coming behind them, the Kavona she has gotten over her injury bug. And we have Brianna, those younger ones who are coming up, they are performing. So we have a good pool, a good mixture of experience and youth to choose from the women's side. But for the male side, it is a huge cause for concern. If Blake can't make top 3 for the men and the men is not good, then it goes to show that we're really lacking from the men's side.
All right, hold on a second. Let me address one of our commenters. Wally, I find this out. Blake fan. Blake, Mr. Carter, Asafa Powell, all them man them must go sit down. Go and go hustle on the foot on the
Michael
circuit.
Clayton.
Otherwise, sometimes you don't have no in Jamaica team make.
But the thing is, Nesta beat Blake in a meet recently, and Nesta done.
Exactly my point. So you just made my point perfectly for me, Ryan. You just made my point perfect. Because
the thing with the Johan Blake thing though, I can't say it like how you guys say it, because it's injury that really messed him up, and he's really trying his best.
Yeah, we get that, we get that Blake shouldn't be even walking. No, we get that, but that's how the women where they kind of just
it's just motivation.
it sounds very arrogant.
But all right, hold on, Ryan, because it seems like Wally has caught some feelings. Wally, pay attention to the females. Don't tell when a man is but is only Shelly and E.T. Brother, you don't see the amount of females that is performing right on the circuit right around. Don't do that, man. Don't go and try pretty up things for a year sprinter. Don't do that, man. But finish what you were saying, Ryan.
What we say again? I remember. Remind me. No, because it's a big done. I'm by saying that me also they don't talk. Because there was nothing else to say.
But all right, even though we might be struggling in the sprinting areas, we can look forward to some people in like the field areas. Because for instance, you know that Frenzzyy Dakers is there, consistently top 3 in the world. We also have Gale is consistent, and if we can get these guys to continuously perform and get up their performances, we don't necessarily have to depend on the track events to get medals now. Yes, we have become accustomed to getting medals from those events.
They are also well fielded on the men's side in the 110 hurdles.
Yeah, man, they're stacked in that area as well.
Yeah, we still have Omar and we still have Ansi Parchment still doing their thing. But the name that I'm looking to see to come big this year is Michael O'Hara. I think he's going to be one on the radar to watch. He has
in what event though?
He need to be. Need to.
The thing about it is, I think I can't understand how he went back to his coach at Calabar and they still don't know which event, or they don't want to tell people which
That's
event.
why I asked you what event you expecting Michael to come good in.
They're not telling us what event he's going to focus on, but
Come on, Chris. You said that we should look forward to him, so we are looking.
Yeah, but he looked good in the hurdles.
No, that's what I'm asking you. What event you expect Michael to perform in? Is it 100 flat? Is it 110? I don't know. What is Michael's strength?
He looked good in the hurdles last year, so I guess he's growing strength by strength, and I'm looking forward to see if he's going to do the
Let me ask you a question. Can Michael O'Hara do better than these athletes currently? So we have Omar McLeod, right?
Yeah.
We also have Ronald Leaf, who has somewhat fallen off, so I won't really add him to the equation. But we also have Wayne Pinnock, who I expect that man will come very good for Jamaica. Super athlete, super talent. Also, do you think that he'll come better than Damian Thomas, who has flown under the radar but has been performing consistently? Right.
Well, he's not. He doesn't fly under the radar. He's at every collegiate meet, basically. Thomas is at every collegiate meet. He basically he's consistent, like I say. So he's one name that's up there when it comes to trials that he's always in contention to make the team. Plus you have DJ Russell and Ansi Parchment, like I said.
But as I mentioned, we can look forward to mainly the events that are not sprint events, like the 100 and the 200 that we become accustomed to. But we can look for medals in different areas. And I think that if we actually remain focused and consistent in those areas that we see that we can actually gain medals, we'll actually do well.
And we have a guy from University of Tennessee, Kieran McLeod. He has the Olympic qualifier for triple
long jump. Is triple jump?
Yeah, I think it's a
I think it's long jump, man, because I saw where he jumped 8.26 meters.
He does. He do both, you know.
Well, I know that he made the Olympic qualification with the long jump. Not sure about the triple jump, but I see another youth that beat him And that you'd look super for US. His name is Jovan Harrison, formerly Jovan Blake. He jumped 8.45 meter. And guess what? On the same day, he also jumped 2.30 in the high jump. So on the same day, he broke two records and also got two personal bests. So there are a lot of talents to look forward to. And well, if you drop your patriotism, the track and field will certainly be entertaining to watch through this entire year and looking forward, because there are a lot of super talents going around in different countries. And also, Wade Van Niekerk is slowly coming back into shape. Ran over the weekend, ran a credible 20.7 in a season over the 200 meter. And the man that a lot of people are saying that this man will probably do the double and probably win both is Steve Gardner from Bahamas. He ran 20.2 in the 200 meter in the season opener, so they're saying that this man looks superb for about 200 and 400. I don't know what to make of that, Ryan and Chris. And Jason, you can chip in as well.
Ah, boy. The 200 and 400 double, because at the tight scheduling at most meets, it's very difficult. It's even something that Shani Miller.
All right, pick up on that, Chris.
The Wade Van
He was mentioning that the 200, 400. All right, me personally can point out.
It's a very hard double to do. It's a very hard double to do because
never write off Bahamas in a 400. That is there.
It's very hard to do because of how them. But I think they wanted to change it to suit runners who have it in mind to do the double. But it's still hard, even if they shift it to a next day and have it. I think it's very hard. It's gonna be very stressful on those muscles, and I think those persons might run themselves into injuries.
And then again, if you look at the field as well, if you have a Noah Lyles and those people who Noah Lyles is a better 200 meter runner than actually 100 meter to me, you know. So if you have those,
You think so?
Yeah.
Lyles, what America rate up as the next 100 god?
It could be, you know, but I just think that he's a better 200 meter runner than 100 meter runner because he has a sluggish start. Similar to Bolt, he has a pretty poor start. So that within itself, you know that to go in 100 meter already. If you're not using Bolt, then you know that there will become an issue there. But they have Noah Lyles and even Michael Norman. He's a better 400 meter runner than 200 meter runner, but they also have him in the mix as well.
Okay.
So the constraint on Steve Gardner doing the 200, 400 double is quite. It's quite hard. But again, as I repeated, interesting time in track and field. If you're not patriotic, then you'll certainly enjoy the Olympic show and you'll certainly enjoy whatever track and field competition that is being put on. That being said, though, that's a wrap. But before I go, one person that has somewhat fallen off big time, we're not hearing much about her, even though she caught up with the twins last year in which they were superb. Brianna Liston, she has fallen off somewhat. I heard that she had an injury, but it leads me to think one thing. Do you remember about a former St. Jago runner known as Kimona Shaw that they had built up huge reputation for her? They saw her as a huge prospect, and it was a similar case for her. Does it bother any of you guys that she could possibly go down the same road? Anyone of you think it up?
Not me personally, because I think Kimona Shaw is totally a different story. Brianna has run at all levels. Kimona Shaw was just basically high school. So Brianna has been running against people older than her, while Kimon was running against her age group, basically, and people younger than her. So I think it's two different things. And I didn't think she regressed. I think
Hold on a second, Chris. I see some breaking news that I never actually knew. No, one of our viewers is actually letting us know that she's now at Heidel, so the change might do for her. So
that's Kimona Shaw?
No, man, Brianna.
So that would allege that she changed coach.
Yeah, because I remember that she was at St. James, so let's see how that works out.
Well, like I say, I don't see it as the same situation. Because remember that she made the team to go what was it? To the championship? She made the team. So it wasn't as if she didn't perform and didn't make the team. I think it was some drug testing thing that she didn't travel because of.
Ryan, what's your take?
I don't know much about her to have a comment on this show.
Alright, boss. Alright, so we bring you guys into the field that you're most comfortable. Jason and Ryan. We'll talk about some football, some international football that took place earlier on today, and also some under 21. First up, let me ask you guys off the top of your heads. I want you to make your prediction before we get into anything else. The under 21, who you guys actually think will win it? Starting with Ryan.
Well, today I made a post about the top 4, the teams I expect to go to the semis. I have France, England. Who was the other 2? I think it was Spain, and I have to look back at it.
So I'm asking you a question. You're writing off the Germans.
Not exactly, but looking at the squads, I think it is more. Under 21 is a very tricky thing, but looking at squad alone, I would go France, England final. Not that I'm right on Germany. Huh?
Go again?
France, England final is what I'm looking at, but which might not happen, but still.
All right, put the disclaimer out there that you're an English fan.
No, I mean, everybody know that, but then again, France and England have 2 best squad in the tournament. In terms of names on paper. In terms of names on paper, let me put it that way. But we know that football don't play on paper. So anything can happen.
All right, so Jason, who you see winning this? And let's also point out that Jason is a Brazilian fan, but he loves the English team.
Sir, England is my European team. I initially would have said them to win, but as I pointed out before, that the injury to Mason Greenwood changes things. And Mr. Tapping Bass Nketiah will not make the difference for England.
Levon, what did I say to you before coming on?
The exact same thing.
I can't trust that guy.
So Spain are defending champions, I believe, but it's France's one to lose, in my estimation. I think their X factor will be Moussa Diaby, which Levon would know a lot about from Leverkusen. So for me, France.
I believe he contracted COVID though, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
What squad? Wow.
I think
more than likely he'll be in the second squad once France advance to them.
Yeah, man. So more than likely he'll be a part of the team.
They have enough can go through the group without him. So I would say France.
And now over to Chris. What you say winning this?
It's France or Italy for me.
Really?
You have to declare your team now, and I declare for them team.
Spain is my team.
Spain is your European team.
You're a Spanish fan.
Yeah, I'm a Spaniard, sir.
And talking about them, they actually beat Slovenia 3-0 today. Our producer was watching the game and he said that, boy, Spain don't impress him any at all, but they move the ball too slow and all of that. And I was like, but why are they supposed to be moving the ball slow when you have man like Marc Cucurella and Brian Diaz and all those players? Well, they ended up running out Victor, as I said, and the player that impressed me most with them is Abel Ruiz, a striker that switched across from Barcelona to Braga. I like him a lot because I think he runs the channel well, and he's a player that...
Was it Abel Ruiz was the one who played in the under-17 that England...
That same guy.
That's it, okay, yeah.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, he's one that I look forward to. And they actually have a decent side because one of the players who scored, Villar, he started consistently for Roma Pipa, who's playing in the championship, Gilliman, who's playing in La Liga. So there are no 3-0 victors after having a boring first half.
The Spain keeper is who is the keeper?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, you know, I was looking at England and I was saying, boy, we don't have a keeper because I don't trust the
Bersic.
Sheffield keeper.
Oh, Ramsdale. But
Ramsdale.
I'm not sure if Frenzzyy will be the one starting because the youth, I think his name is Bersic. He has been starting consistently for, I think it's Stoke. So he has been getting
Ramsdale played the qualifiers.
Well, that's
So,
true. And
yeah.
boy, Ramsdale is a headache, brother. Big time headache. But next up, we saw the same Italy team that Chris made mention of. They drew 1-1 with Czech Republic. They went ahead through Scamacca, who I have a lot of time for. I've been watching him in the Syria, and he has been doing very well for them. But I'm pretty upset with them because I had them on my ticket, and they ended up bursting my ticket. And let's point out that Scamacca plays for Genoa. He's unknown from Sassuolo, and the captain of that team was Patrick Corcione, was being very disappointing. They also had players like Sandro Tonali, Matteo Gabbia, and all those players in the team. But Tonali ended up getting a red card in the 84th minute for violent conduct. And I made a post about him, and instantly Ryan jumped on it and said, "Big baller, brother." Tonali has, I don't know if because he's not playing week in, week out for AC Milan, but the Tonali that I saw at his previous club, it seemed to fallen off a tad bit. He's not
the Torino Tonali is no longer, is what you're saying.
It's somewhat gone backwards in my estimation. The player that I expected to develop into this player, because I view him as Pirlo, because this man looked like Pirlo, this man plays like Pirlo.
Remember, Tonali last year came out and said he's more Gattuso than Pirlo.
Yeah, man, the man play like Pirlo.
And improve it today with the red card.
That's a good one. That's a good one. But yeah, they ended up drawing the game 1-1, and the goal that they considered was actually a red card. Not a red card, I mean a own goal. Next up, we saw Romania taking on Netherlands, and that game ended 1-1 as well. The Dutch didn't have a good day at all, whether their senior side or their under side. And trust me, you see this Dutch under 21 side is stacked all over. If I start to list out the players' name, man, you would actually believe that all these players actually played for the under 21 team. So you have Myron Boadu, who a lot of you might know, plays for PSV, Noah Lang, who plays for Club Brugge, Justin Kluivert, Danny DeWitt, Tian Koopmeiners, Per Shores, and Mitchell Bakker. All those players are first teamers for their respective clubs. They even have 7 Batman who starts for Lille, Cody Gakpo, Brian Broby. Brother, this side is stacked, so I can't see the reason why they actually drew with that team. And a couple months about, they actually beat my team as well, and they even, I believe they beat England as well. So it was kind of surprising knowing that it's a all or nothing right now in this tournament. And last but not least, earlier on today we saw my team, the man Shaf, getting a 3-0 victory over Hungary, and the goals were scored by Riedel Baku, who scored 2, and Lucas Enmeka, who scored the other one. Nothing much close.
Two black players.
Yeah, disclaimer, 2 black players as well.
Hitler must be rolling in his grave.
And also, let's point out that one of the men who assisted one of them was actually a next black player. His name is Ismail Jacobs. That's also a black man. But you know what I like about all of you? Just sleep on my team, man. We just quietly go about our business. That's it. Nothing more to say right here, man.
Like 2017 championship when you won with that team.
My point, and we should have won last year, even though we were beat. Well, not last year, 2019, we were beaten by Spain, but we come again and we say no more. We'll take our time and get to it. Tomorrow we'll see England taking on Switzerland, France taking on Denmark, Portugal taking Croatia. Now we touch into Europe, where we saw some World Cup qualifiers earlier on today. The Netherlands, they were beaten 4-2 by Turkey, and the record for their coach doesn't look that promising. 7 games and only 2 victories. And they were very poor. They have been playing very, very awful since Ronald Koeman has left. And is it much of a surprise to you, Chris, that they didn't actually come out and actually play well?
No, they're just suffering from Liverpool type of stuff. They're suffering from the loss of their captain and the world defender.
No, man, but they have a deep enough squad to actually do better than that, boss.
Yeah, I didn't expect to be fair. I didn't expect them to lose 4-2. I expected it to be a evenly matchup game. I didn't think Van Dijk should have had them looking like that.
But again, they were beaten 4-2 by Turkey, where Akan Kalanoğlu ran the show. Burak Yilmaz scored twice and he scored the other one. But France now, I see the French fans all over Chris now, Hugo Lloris, that he's a bug and he needs to go. They drew 1-1 with Ukraine. Ukraine, that a lot of people are saying that, oh, they are ranked 24th, so after all, it wasn't that bad of a result. Boss man, Ukraine ranked 24th, but wouldn't play against the reach of at 24th in the world. Because, Ryan, I saw someone mention it, right? And my instant clap back at them was, okay, Germany is ranked 13th in the world. Okay, Wales is ranked 18th.
Mexico ranked 9.
Hold on, that was what I was going to. I'm saying that Mexico is ranked 9th in the world. Are you telling me that they're better than teams like Germany and all those teams? Argument dead, boss man. France have absolutely no excuse for drawing that match.
I agree.
Jason, you saw it?
Yeah.
What do you make of it overall?
Well, as a certain analyst will come out and say that the French ball are them tired. But really and truly, there should be no excuse. I'm vexed with them because just like anybody else, them bust me ticket today. So, overall, Griezmann plays better. He's a completely different player for France. But a lot of their star players were off color. Pogba came on for a bit. Also, Martial, surprised to even see him get called despite his clout. It's time for Lloris to sit down now. I can't understand why him still. I saw the goalkeeping options otherwise, and between Lafont, I think you pointed him out.
That is man should take over the goals because he has age on his side and it's perfect to get him in right now.
Even if Melia was like 6th choice, and Melia is good.
Melia is with the under 21 side. So
and he's good and he's like 6th choice.
Yeah, and Melia is very good. But yeah, I think Lloris situation for a bit today here now. I think the two of them are just seriously on the decline. I'm just need because that goal what them concede shouldn't have conceded. So even the argument there about Ukraine being 24th in the world, they did not play like that today. So I don't know him end up there. But overall, it was a disappointing result for France. But they'll go again in the next game, I suppose.
Ryan, it seemed like you want to chime in with something. What are you about to say?
Yeah, you realize like England can put out a right back 11, France can put out a centre back 11. But the thing with their centre back, most of them are very error prone. If you look at their centre backs, because Kimpembe today,
That's true.
They have very good centre backs, but they are error prone. You even have man like Langley in the squad, Zuma in the squad. Zuma is error prone. All of those, they have a wealth of options at the centre back option for centre back rather, but they are all error prone, so to speak. And you don't even have man like Laporte in the squad, who should be their best centre back. So,
all right.
Even.
We also saw Norway getting a 3-0 victory over Gibraltar, in which was expected. Gibraltar is a average side.
No, but I'm surprised that Haaland didn't score.
Probably was somewhat upset that Odegaard actually went down injured, and I'm sure that Arsenal fans are actually fretting because he went down injured at halftime, had to be taken off. Hope it's nothing too serious because the player that I actually have a lot of time for, but yeah, they ended up winning 3-0. Slovenia getting a 1-0 victory over Croatia. Belgium beating Wales by 3-1. Wales actually.
Question, is Sanderberger injured?
Who? Sanderberg?
Sanderberg. Yeah.
Yeah, man, he's currently injured.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I didn't see him in the squad, so I was wondering.
Yeah, man, he's still out injured.
Okay.
Belgium getting a comeback 3-1 victory over Wales. And Jason, I knew you were taking that match because you were actually mentioning that they're one of the big teams to actually show up on this break.
Yes, sir. Belgium at home in either World Cup or Euros qualifying. They have not lost since 2010, since Jere Dijkmanschaft gave them their last defeat at home. Wales took their chance it was a very good goal by what appeared to be a false 9 in Harry Wilson, assisted by Mr. Tottenham training, Gareth Bale. But after that, it was the KDB show. A goal and an assist, and then another international goal for Lukaku, which just happens to be his first goal against Wales in, I think, 5 games and 9 shots. So overall, it was an expected victory by Belgium. I pointed to Ryan, I think it was yesterday, that this is their last opportunity for them to do good at a big tournament. Because this golden generation,
I pointed out the same thing to as well, that this is their last leg. The golden generation.
This is their last leg. So it's do or die for Belgium. So but they always look good. They always look good in the qualifier. So let's see.
All right, we also saw Serbia beating Ireland by 3-2. Mitrovic scoring a pretty good, decent goal. And Jason was one again to point out that Mitrovic has been so hard for him for Fulham, but it was 1 point for Serbia this afternoon. But this one, I'll have to give over to Ryan because Ryan is one of those persons that actually disagree with me. Portugal getting a 1-0 victory over Azerbaijan. And I pointed out that Cristiano Ronaldo is a bug right now. And I'm not going to retract my statement. Cristiano is a bug. And
no, you don't have to retract, but it won't make it facts.
It is facts, boss. That man hasn't played good for Portugal in ages. That man is just living off. That man is just living off the young talents that are coming through.
Good because Ronaldo is normally a goal scorer. It's not normally a play good type of player.
Yeah, but
he's normally get chances, score chances.
Has
been Ronaldo for the past few years.
Has he been scoring a lot?
Yes, he has been.
Last one.
What you mean?
Christie has failed to carry Juventus to the level that they wanted, right?
No, but I mean, you can't. Juventus is an old side. You can't expect Cristiano Ronaldo to do everything.
Hold on.
Juventus is
Ryan, you just come to me with that whole argument.
Juventus is worse than Juventus when Sarri was there. And they are worse than when Max Allegri was there. They have been progressively worse every year. There's not a Ronaldo issue. What Juventus is going through right now. That's not on Ronaldo.
You know that I'm going to take your argument and rip it up and throw it into the bin.
Try.
First and foremost, they're not an all side overall. Check out their starting level consistently. It's only the goalkeeper you can look at, and probably a centre back here and there that you can say is old. Look at their midfield and their forward line. Who you can say is old in that midfield and forward line?
Ronaldo is old in the forward line.
But what has he done? Look at it. When they needed someone to actually carry them somewhat, it was Chiesa that actually took it upon himself to carry them. And a lot of time this season, Chiesa has been their best player.
True.
This is what I'm going to get at.
No, that's true.
Christie for Portugal.
No, but I mean, if you're going to say Chiesa, you have to also look at the fact that Ronaldo is their leading goal scorer for the past 3 seasons.
And who is the man that has been
no, but that's what I'm saying to you. You said Ronaldo did not play good. So I'm asking you, what exactly is play good for Ronaldo?
Yes,
because Ronaldo is not the man who is going to take the ball and beat 2 players. I'm putting at the top corner. Ronaldo is the man who is going to score the goals. So,
all right, Ryan, let me ask you a question. He played against an opposition today that is right up his alley.
Normally scores 6 again.
A Okay, Chris, thank you. What did he do
But,
today?
but last night on the bully, man. Last night on the bully, man, put up stats. Oh, you're scored against the Castaites, and besides, you're not scored.
Brian, he play against small, he play against small Benevento on the weekend, and guess what happened? Benevento beat them 1-0. I did not say to me that he's going to go 2 matches straight against
But
two
yeah,
small
man,
teams and don't score.
I don't like when you treat people who always perform. You do the same thing with Blake when we did a discuss track and field, you know. When I get a pass because him always perform. So when him not performing, he get a pass.
I think Blake's thing is kind of different.
Yeah, man, 2 different scenarios.
When you're great, you have to be. We can't compare you as nothing else. You see, if you become you achieve a certain level, we can't compare you to a mortal. You get what I'm saying?
All I'm saying is, Levon, the man need Bruno Fernandes to do something for him so he can just keep the ball in the net.
And all I'm saying is that Cristiano Ronaldo needs to sit on the bench and allow the Portugal players that are actually performing to start. Benchman that now for Portugal. Argument done.
Not right now. Not right now.
Benchman that.
Not right now, because even though they have a very good squad there, Ronaldo is their leader.
Hold on. Just move on from Ronaldo now. Let's talk about players that is actually performing well. Man that is in Ballon d'Or argument. Thomas Soucek scored a hat-trick for Czech Republic today. That's a player that is actually performing and carrying his team. How impressive was he, Chris Lynch? This man, what? This man just got Czech Player of the Year. Kofal finishes a close second to him, but they went behind earlier and today, and guess what? He brought them back. What do you make of Thomas Soucek overall and this Czech team going forward?
How much did he score today? 4?
Hat-trick.
Hey. I didn't see the game, but it's somebody name that's been out there, and I think Czech always play good football in competitions. It's one of the things that...
You know, Rice have to answer him tomorrow.
Well, so the West Ham team is going at it. But they were very good.
They always play good football. Estonia is the next team that Ronaldo always bag his hat-trick against. So I guess...
And I guess he didn't bag one today, so stop talking about Ronaldo, man. Move on from him. But
Estonia is not no big opposition. You expect to trash them when you see them. So I guess he did what he's supposed to do. I don't think you can make anything of Estonia.
Well, true. And another one we saw Russia drinking some Malta, beating them by 3-1. Tomorrow now we'll see Germany taking on Iceland, England taking on a team that they normally dump up, and if England score less than 5 goals tomorrow, I'll be pretty disappointed. They're playing against San Marino, and as I said, if England don't score 5 goals on this team, no. England
needs to score 7. I can pick 11 people.
6 high standard, man.
Kane can open for them stats tomorrow.
Yeah, man, and also Spain will be playing against Greece, Italy playing against Northern Ireland. I think I'll probably watch Germany match and take in the Spain match because I want to see how Pedri actually do for Greece. Yeah. He has been playing well for Barcelona, so I'm actually interested in seeing how he copes in the international field. And so as a point of that, the next generation of ballers, Ansu Fati was the one who actually won it in the next generation. Eduardo Camavinga came a close second, and the US international player, Gio Reyna, came third. And on that note, we'll now click over to the friendly that will take place between USA and Jamaica. Where is this one going, Ryan?
Well, I was watching ESPN, and they have doubts about USA, given the fact that there's a lot of the same reality that we have USA have, it seems, in that they have doubts in terms of their compatibility. They don't train. You know, I go with international footballer. They don't really have much time to train.
Yeah, man.
So the analysts were saying that they have doubts about them, and their biggest doubt is about their number 9. Should it be Josie Altidore? Should it be Sargent? their biggest doubt is who should play number 9. They are okay everywhere else except for that. So it depends on how Jamaica comes out, how they blend tomorrow will determine if we have a chance.
All right, Davian Smith, match is actually tomorrow at 12. Hold on, Ryan. I'm going to let you finish your point. But Davian, the match will be played tomorrow at 12 p.m. Jamaica time. Continue, Ryan.
Yeah, so basically the doubts around their who should start up front for them because they don't really have a true number 9 in terms of who should be their go-to man. So that
but if you were the one, if you were the one put in place to actually choose the man, who would it be?
For USA?
Yeah.
I will try Sergeant.
Okay.
I think that's one of his best years are behind him.
Well, quite possibly, even though he was very good in the MLS this past season. But in regards to Jamaica, how you see them stacking up against the US?
I think we should, given that we have mostly overseas-based players, I don't know if that means much, but they are professionals. So, and we have what, like 2 training sessions. So, I mean, hopefully we'll work out some formula where we can play a system to counter the US style and maybe put up a good performance.
All right, Chris, how you see this one going?
Don't expect to see a lot of goals. The US is basically scouting just like us and trying to get chemistry just like us. And with all that's taking place in Jamaica football, had it not been for the players opt out, I strongly believe Jamaica could have easily won this one just because of recent form. I think we beat them in the last 2 friendly. It's sad that we can't get to see what would have been a full strength team. But with this team going, I think you can't expect much. This team hasn't played. This team hasn't get to train a lot together. I see it as a battle. It probably end up 1-1, and it probably end up 2-2. I can't see it get as a draw.
All right, Jason, I'm going to pose this question to you. Yes, Akil Henry asking, should the results of the match justify JFF and the players' stance against each other? Meaning that if they lose badly, does that give the players leverage? Or if we win, does this give JFF leverage?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I don't think anybody will be looking to this game from a Jamaican standpoint and really approaching it with 100% confidence and saying that, you know, we must beat the US. I mean, the US is not unbeatable. They are there. They have their flaws, particularly at centre back, which I think likes of Andre Gray can possibly exploit. But I don't think, regardless of tomorrow's result, I don't think it has any bearing on who has leverage between the JFF or the players. I think it needs to. You need a chain of results. You can't just use one off. It has to be results over a consistent period of time. So I wouldn't look at tomorrow's fixture and say, or result and say that the JFF was right all along or the players were right all along. As I say right now, tomorrow's match is probably more about building fitness and chemistry more than anything going forward. So, but I definitely think there's an opportunity for Jamaica. If anybody wants to put it in their betting streak, I'll probably go over 2.5 for this one. I'm not sure how many people would agree with me on that one, but overall, yeah, I don't think so.
With that being said, we end on that note, and it was once again a very good live. We touched on 4 sporting disciplines. First, we started off with some cricket, discussing the West Indies, and hope that they can actually chase the runs tomorrow because they need to chase the runs. Then we got into some track and field, discussing that Blake should hang up his spikes because his days is over in track and field. Then we touch on some basketball, where Chris actually discussed the NCAA March Madness, and then we'll end with some football, international football. That was where we discussed a whole lot about the international football, and let's also say thanks to Shanika, who has been doing a good job behind the scenes, promoting the show to a lot of people. And Bones, we saw your initiative as well. So thanks for that as well. But Shanika, continue pushing the movement, and the more people get on board, the better it will be for us. Thanks again to our producer who makes this possible. He's the one that makes the show on every night. And to you, our viewers, without you, there's no show. So again, I want to say thanks to the Sports Frenzzyy family for keeping our company till this time at the night. And at one point, we had over 30 views tonight, and we had like over 100 comments. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. Well, actually, we reached 200 comments. So thanks to everyone that has tuned in, our first-time viewers, our regular viewers, and continue supporting the show, continue supporting the Sports Frenzzyy movement. Thanks to our panelists as well, Ryan, Christopher, and Jason.
Can I tell Josh that if England lose tomorrow, he will be trending on Facebook?
The producer said England won't lose tomorrow, especially playing against a box side like San Marino. But guys, we say you're doing this and we'll win tomorrow. All right, boss.
Whenever
guys,
England lose, just trend on Facebook.
so guys, we'll be back come Friday. Until then, peace out. Take care of yourself.